Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers for a World in Crisis. Many questions are posed by students, by seekers on the way, and all answers are from the writings or talks of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Today's subject, the heart, the mother. Our mind must be silent and quiet, but our heart must be full of an ardent aspiration. Look into the depths of your heart, and you will see there the divine presence. Our heart is purified from the trouble and anguish. It is firm and calm, and sees the divine in everything. The divine is always seated in your heart, consciously living in you. All help is given to you always, but you must learn to receive it in the silence of your heart and not through external means. It is in the silence of your heart that the divine will speak to you and will guide you and will lead you to your goal. But for that, you must have full faith in the divine grace and love. The guidance is in your heart. Go ahead according to your inspiration. Experience goes far beyond the reasoning mind. Evidently, the reasoning mind finds it very difficult to reach the divine. But a simple heart can enter into contact with him almost without effort. It is the heart that has wings, not the head. Read with your heart, and you will understand blessings. Oh, Mother, what should I do? I am completely unconscious. Mother, where are you? In your psychic being, I am always present there. It is there that you can find me and must find me. And when you have found me there, in the depths of your heart, you will also recognize me in my physical form. Where did the love and peace that I used to feel come from, since my heart was always closed? Your heart is not always closed. When it opens, the peace and love enter into you. Opening the heart means bringing the psychic to the surface. The psychic coming to the surface is the result rather than the method. There is a sacred fire that burns in the heart and envelops the whole being. It is Agni, who illumines and purifies all. I kindle that fire in you each time that you ask me for some progress. But it destroys nothing except falsehood and obscurity. One keeps this fire lit by throwing into it all one's difficulties, all one's desires, all one's imperfections. In the morning and evening, when you come to me, you should ask me in your heart to keep the fire lit and offer me all these things as fuel. Remain quiet and trust in the grace. It is always present and ready to help those who call on it with a sincere heart. In the silence of a simple and faithful heart, one can understand the mystery of incarnation. A great joy is always deep in our heart, and always we can find it there. A simple and faithful heart is a great boon. Our mind must be silent and quiet, but our heart must be full of an ardent aspiration. Look into the depths of your heart, and you will see there the divine presence. Our heart is purified from the trouble and anguish. It is firm and calm and sees the divine in everything. Again, the divine is always seated in your heart, consciously living in you. Sri Aurobindo. The fundamental realizations of this yoga are: 1. The psychic change, so that a complete devotion can be the main motive of the heart and the ruler of thought, life, and action, in constant union with the Mother and in her presence. 2. The descent of the peace, power, light, etc., of the higher consciousness through the head and heart into the whole being, occupying the very cells of the body. 3. The perception of the one and divine infinitely everywhere, the Mother everywhere, and living in that infinite consciousness. The psychic being is in the heart center, in the middle of the chest, parentheses, not in the physical heart, for all the centers are in the middle of the body, end parentheses, but it is deep behind. When one is going away from the vital into the psychic, it is felt as if one is going deep, deep down, till one reaches that central place of the psychic. The surface of the heart center is the place of the emotional being. From there, one goes deep to find the psychic. The place of the psychic is deep within the heart, but deep within, not on the surface, where the ordinary emotions are. It is the soul, the psychic being in you, behind the heart, that is awake and wants to concentrate the mind on the divine. It is the nature of the mind to go out to other things. But now, when it does that, there is the unease in the heart, the psychic sorrow, because the heart feels at once that this is wrong, and the head also aches because of the resistance to the divine force at work. Agni, in the form of an aspiration full of concentrated calm and surrender, is certainly the first thing to be lighted in the heart. That is the fundamental rationale of the sadhana. It will be evident that the two most important things here are the opening of the heart center and the opening of the mind centers to all that is behind and above them. For the heart opens to the psychic being, and the mind centers open to the higher consciousness, and the nexus between the psychic being and the higher consciousness is the principal means of the siddhi. The first opening is effected by a concentration in the heart, a call to the divine to manifest within us and through the psychic to take up and lead the whole nature. Aspiration, prayer, bhakti, love, surrender are the main supports of this part of the sadhana, accompanied by a rejection of all that stands in the way of what we aspire for. The effect of the meditation in the heart, extending itself to the head and creating movements there, is normal. In whatever center the concentration takes place, the yoga force generated extends to the others and produces concentration or workings there.